Tom Rousey at the alert desk. Leesburg police say they have arrested all these suspects, all 8 of them, and also 2 juveniles. Now, all of these folks, including the juveniles, are from New York, they say, and all of them are accused of taking part in an organized retail theft ring. Police say they stopped them Saturday near the Target on Edwards Ferry Road, and they found a lot of stolen stuff from Target and also stolen stuff from other retailers in 2 separate cars. Leesburg police say the adults are in jail, but 2 juveniles have been released.
Hello, everyone. Can you believe these 8 New Yorkers were detained for such a crime? Oh, but I'm sorry, I got to make a correction here. These 8 are alleged Venezuelan migrants. What do you know that I have to correct the media? But in this case, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because it was the actual police department, the Leesburg Police Department, that told everyone that these were 8 individuals from New York. Luckily for us, I was able to get information that these 8 individuals are indeed allegedly from Venezuela. And guess who made such claims? One of them. Her name is Yetsai Guerrero. She went on a live stream to tell us what happened that night. She even said that she received a notification from ICE, but she was released. Now, it is worth to mention that this report is from September, but her claims were made just a couple of days ago on TikTok Live. That being said, I would like to know why the Leesburg, Virginia Police Department stated that these individuals were from New York instead of saying that they were Venezuelan migrants that were living or traveling from New York City. But I will give you more details about her statements in just a bit. And then there's this guy, Fernando Pizarro. Well, it turns out that Yetsai and Fernando are a lovely couple. Oh, what do you know? So sweet and adorable. These are AOC's victims. You know, the one she says, oh, the asylum-seeking poor victims, that they are escaping oppression. Oh, look at that. So adorable. So sweet. It warms my heart. And now there's record of them being arrested for burglary. What a disgrace. I'm sure you would like to know where I received this information. They posted it on their TikTok pages. Like this one, Fernando. Apparently and ironically, he worked as a security manager or was part of security in the country of Colombia. That's per the video he posted. The irony is mind-blowing. And then there's Yetsai. Of course, she would be classy and inspiring for most of her migrant followers. Turns out that Yetsai gave us the information about her case when she was in a live stream with this guy, Jhonny Tovar. Another crown jewel. Jhonny has the devil emoji on his profile, which we know can be related to the TDA subset gang Devils of 42nd Street. By the same token, Jhonny over here has various angelic and innocent posts, like this one, where he seems to be holding a pink substance right in front of an NYPD car. And Jhonny recently went on another live stream where he told immigration officials that they can suck his you-know-what. But it gets better, guys. Turns out that Jhonny is none other than the boyfriend or husband of the notorious The Devil's Daughter. Wow, what a shocker, right? Let's not forget how The Devil's Daughter has previously openly stated that she is a pro-communist and anti-American. She told those guys that she did not like this country. According to her, these 2 individuals are living together in that taxpayer-funded hotel in New York City. They love to post videos on TikTok, do live streams, and make fun of all Americans. But thanks to Yetsai, we can finally make that connection that we have been waiting for. See, Yetsai's user on TikTok is U17034. Not only does she go on live streams with the Devil's Daughter's boyfriend, but she follows the Devil's Daughter and, likewise, the devil's daughter follows her, which in essence, now we can officially say that the devil's daughter has a connection with an alleged criminal. And all of this comes as these migrants continue to post all of this information on their social media pages. And remember, they now know about the Vega Axis channel, so they are getting offended. And even their friends are offended that they are being exposed. Like this one, Jesus Linares, who left a comment on the previous video where his friend Enyilis showed up. And I quote, "You do not have to post that content. You are defaming, and I can sue you for damages and harm. You are a person who is using hatred against Venezuelans. Trash. You are ignorant. You." End quote. Oh, that was sweet. So Jesus goes by Toto Venezuelan 007 on Take Trash. Toto, you should get familiar with US Code 1325. Now you can either look it up yourself or learn it from the incoming border czar, Tom Homan.
Mr. Homan, with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay.
Furthermore, Toto, you should get familiar with the main types of defamation. This includes libel, which is written false statements, including words and pictures, and slander. This one is a verbal false statement that can be through speech or gestures. Toto, you make me laugh. In fact, I encourage you to sue me. That would be great because I can bring all of the information that I have, the videos, photos, and statements your friend made and show it to the courts, specifically the immigration court. That would be lovely. You see, the beauty about this channel is that it's full of sources. I never sit here and talk out of my ass like most of you guys do. Additionally, guys, Toto here seems to be a little bit confused himself. His page contains various posts supporting President Trump, like this one here. There's Toto right there taking a selfie, and then when you scroll to the next picture, you see President Trump when he was working at McDonald's. And the caption of the video Toto posted says this in English, and I quote, "Soon, you will know the Darien Gap on the way back," end quote. Wow, Toto, that's a very hateful statement. You are generalizing all of the migrants, something that we have never done on this channel. We are very specific. Myself, say a few, some, or most when describing certain situations, but you're not doing that. Therefore, based on this post alone, Toto, you should sue yourself. And then he posted this video where it seems to show two Mexicans dancing. And the caption of the video he posted says the following in English, and I quote, "Then these Mexicans say that the Venezuelans are no good," end quote. Well, there you go again, Toto, generalizing all of the Mexicans? Really? Maybe the Mexican Americans watching this video should sue your ass for insulting them. So now you could maybe have 2 lawsuits. Let's see if we can find you a third one. Oh, right here. This is perfect. You guys remember Skinny Will, the one that made that report against the Venezuelan migrant and alleged prostitute nicknamed China. Skinny Will took no prisoners when he made that report. After doing some research, turns out that Skinny Will came through the Darien Gap himself. So now what, Toto? You're going to sue me or have Skinny Will sue me for saying that he came through the Darien Gap? He did! Those are the videos from his own page. So go ahead. And here he is again, bad-mouthing 2 Venezuelan migrants, of which one of them is the devil's daughter. The tone and language used on this video is so foul that I would not play it for you guys, but I have it. So there you go, Toto. I just found you a third lawsuit. You should sue Skinny Will for criticizing some of these Venezuelan migrants since you are so sensitive about it. But you won't because you like him. Yep, guys, Toto follows Skinny Whale on Tech Trash, and he even jumps on his live streams from time to time. Oh, what a shame. It turns out that Toto is nothing but a fake. Similarly, I think I just found you a fourth lawsuit, and that would be me suing you for committing libel against me. Your statement says that I am using hatred against Venezuelans, which is completely false. If you would have been smart and done your research, you would know that I am very pro-immigration. I love immigration. I just don't like when people cross the border illegally and then go on social media to brag about the benefits they are getting from the American people while live streaming the whole or most of the day on Tech Trash. If you have a problem with that, then go ahead and sue. And let's see how that works out for you. Can you guys imagine going through the discovery process where I would have to show all of the evidence that I've been talking about in my videos, from photos to live streams to actual videos that were posted by them and statements? Oh, please do it, Toto. You would make the process that much easier, and you would, in fact, speed it up for you and all your friends. Just make sure that you at least make over 6 figures, okay? Because you're going to have to pay for your lawyer and my lawyer when it's all said and done. And my lawyer is very expensive. And finally, Toto, this one is my opinion, which is something that we are allowed to have here in America. Maybe you're not used to it, but you should because you are here. I think you are an ignorant clown. So sit down, watch, and learn. All of this, guys, comes as more migrants continue to react to the Vega Axis channel reports.
Saliste en un canal, ¿cómo así? Americano en YouTube. Miércoles. ¿Cuál? Vega Axis Election Victory. Pero ajá, ¿qué decía? ¿O qué era? No sé. Parece que dicen que es para negarte la entrada. Ajá, pero ¿por qué? Ahorita lo busco. Me urge. Ay, ya te voy a escribir ya. Me voy a tener que salir de live para preguntarme, para salir eso, porque no es hombre. Te voy a escribir al privado, Roxy.
¿Ves? Entonces eso no... A mí me da igual, marica. El que quiera pelear conmigo, que pelee solo. Me importa, porque entonces si tú vienes y me nombras en un video, la gente va a ir a verme, va a ir a buscarme, va a ir a darle vista a mis videos, y marica, eso es lo que me gusta a mí, pues. ¿Qué pasa, Noé? Si yo les caigo mal, ustedes lo único que tienen es que irse, ¿ves? Si ustedes sienten que ustedes no empatizan conmigo, váyanse. Bueno, mis amores, me los voy a dejar.
Malvada sea, pues. La huevona, estoy más salada que la hueva sirenita.
Te estás enramado yo, mija.
Una huevona, mira, ¿por qué no pusieron a USA?
Póngase
Pusieron
un
a la
collar
hija.
ponte un collar de ajo.
Y que sigue de tramollera, na, imagínate que me metiera con la gente, na, malvada sea, vale. Voy a darme un ratico ahí.
Ponte un collar de ajo y prende un velón morado al revés.
La huevona. Y me pongo a hacer capturas todos los comentarios y lo traduje. Y en uno decía que esa mujer en esa barriga tiene para pasar un año de hambre.
En la de YouTube.
Que pueda aguantar un año de hambre porque estoy muy gorda, maldito, vale, demasiado malo.
Tuvo que venir la tierra de Angeli a grabar con dando lástima una foto de bajándose del tren, un video bajándose del tren.
Dando lástima, no, enseñarlo, tienen que hacer la gente.
No, eso te tiene que preservarlo, eso no se lo sacaron ustedes del teléfono, tienen que preservar eso, guardar su
tutorial, cómo llegar de Texas a Nueva York, el tutorial.
Madre, ahí está tu tutorial. Ahora eres youtuber.
Yo lo traduje, guaro, yo lo traduje y me pasé toda la noche llorando.
¿Cuánto tiempo llegaste?
6 de la mañana. ¿Qué?
¿Hace cuánto tiempo llegaste?
No voy a decir más nada porque todo me lo graban y me lo ponen en YouTube. Llegué ayer y ya hoy soy famoso.
Oh, guys, that last one was in Yeelis. Toto's buddy. So please go easy on her because she's reading the comments. And watch out. You don't want to get sued for having freedom of speech. Wow, be careful. We should all be very scared. Oh, yeah. And then there's the Devil's Daughter reaction.
Me falta Evelin.
Es VegaAxis. Dice que es VegaAxis, se llama VegaAxis.
¿De qué Oroco? ¿Qué te falta yo?
Sí, todo lo bueno. Desorden ese estaba enfermo. Escúchame, Evelin, te mandé el link del loco, tiene 8,000 y pico de seguidores. Y el loco, nada, huevo, nada, está ganándole de punta de todo. Sale caro y sale un poco, pero tiene un coñazo de video de coña madre en verano. Le han dado like que jode y lo han seguido. Tiene 8,000 y pico de seguidores en TikTok, pues, en YouTube, y nada más con eso basta, con 1,000. Empieza a facturar, pero ahí te mandé la vaina. El loco sale Orozco con esos videos. Ahí te lo mandé, Orozco.
No, pero no me salió así, tenía que grabar pantalla.
No, ahí te lo mandé. No, pero no está grabando pantalla. Ahí está en YouTube. En YouTube, tú le das y salen todos. Sigue los locos, que el loco sale hablando de todo el mundo de Estados Unidos.
¿Bien o mal?
Ah, Karina.
Ajá, mira la huevona de locura. El loco ganando su primera punta de TikTok, qué locura. Mira, te dejo, no, ahí tiene varios.
Pero ahora está yo, mira.
Says, you know what ticket that I want or this that I want to go and guess it.
Pero habla en inglés, no entendemos.
No, pero yo lo voy a entender, yo ahorita lo escucho.
Pero ponlo traductor, tú lo pones en traducción y sale.
Ah, pero
Yo creo que yo lo he visto ahorita, pero yo voy a ver qué es lo que dice.
So here, someone in the comment section.
nada, pero no tiene vida.
No te vayas a creer. Mucha gente lo ve en YouTube.
Con la visualización gana más plata que cualquier escritorio, para que usted sepa.
And Brenda, and by the look, now.
Pero lo que quiero escuchar es eso. Ahorita lo voy a ver qué es lo que está hablando.
No se entiende.
Escúchame, la plataforma de YouTube no tiene que ver nada con los seguidores en TikTok.
No es por eso, no es por eso, pero YouTube tiene más plataforma de ver y gente más importante. Hay que ver qué mierda es lo que está hablando.
Ya, subió todo el mundo. Está subiendo todo el mundo. Mira, mis amores, lo voy a dejar.
Wow, guys, they seemed offended that my channel is monetized because, it is only okay for the migrants to come here, take advantage of the system and make fun of Americans and then record it and put it on TikTok so that they can make money that way. That's okay. But when someone else or other channels like myself are calling them out and making fun of them for making fun of Americans, then that's wrong. So guys, please do not support my content. Don't send money this way because the migrants will get deeply offended. Well, newsflash migrants, since we have your attention, I will use all of the revenue that is coming into this channel and reinvest it to do continuous research to expose the fraud that some of you guys are committing against the American people. Unlike you, I don't need social media money, but I do need to expose those that are destroying this country. And since we're back to the Devil's Daughter, remember that she told us that she is here under TPS, Temporary Protection Status. But she recently said that she owns a home in Venezuela and is using the hotel accommodations to save money so that she can proceed in building her wealth in Venezuela. Talk about a protection status, guys. So you take that and mix it with her husband's statements, where he told immigration officials via a live stream to suck his and that gives you the following result. I am hereby announcing that I have reached out to immigration officials, and these two individuals have officially been reported to the proper authorities, and they now are looking into their case. I cannot comment as to whether or not they were already investigating them, but I can confirm that they are now officially looking into these two individuals, and rightfully so. You guys are welcome. In any event, I'm a migrant who lives in a taxpayer-funded hotel in New York City, and I can easily insult immigration officials whenever the hell I want because I live in a sanctuary city with my freeloader girlfriend. Both of us have a nice, friendly relationship to an alleged criminal. What a lovely story. You want to play games? You got it. Let's get started. Guys, the entitlement mentality of some of these migrants just keeps getting worse. Can you believe it? Anyway, let's start with the devil's daughter. So here's Evelin, and she says this during a live stream. This is my advice to all my Venezuelan people. All of us went through the same process. If you have 1,000, send 500 to Venezuela and keep 500 here. Buy and invest in Venezuela because you know at some point we will all get kicked out. And what are you going to do? You're going to go back to Venezuela and live with your uncle or your mom? But when you were here in the US, you had a car and then you forgot about your country? So she's saying to invest in Venezuela. And she says, I don't care what people say about me, but I have my house and I've been buying my appliances, my things over there. You know what? I'm quiet because you guys on TikTok don't know about my life. I'll let you know what I want you to know, but you don't know what I have. You don't know what I own. You don't know what I've bought over there. A lot of people here have chains here, gold chains, cars, a nice phone, and they're in debt. Everything is debt. And in Venezuela, they don't even have a mattress. They don't even own a mattress. So she's saying that, you should invest in Venezuela because, let's face it, according to her, they know that they will eventually go back. All of them will eventually go back. Wow, Evelin. So what happened to your TPS? Aren't you running from a dictatorship? What happened? I wouldn't be buying a house if I was running from a dictatorial government. I wouldn't be buying a house in that country. But you are, or you did, according to what you're saying. No, I mean, I have to say, according to what they say, because otherwise they're going to say, oh, you're lying. You're defaming me. The evidence is right there. Wow. So here, her son that's in Venezuela joins the live stream with her. And here she says that he is living with his woman, with his girlfriend or wife, and that he is 18 years old. And then he says that in that home, they live her children, and their children are with their aunts and other family members. She says, my older brother too. So she is saying that a lot of family members live in that home that apparently she has ownership of. And then she says, you know what? To the comment section, some of you guys here are paying rent, are paying bills. That when in Venezuela, you guys never paid anything. You know that we never paid anything because we even got the clap bag. The clap bag in Venezuela means the EBT card here in America. As I told you guys, they love communism, so they love getting things from the government. No surprise there. So the son echoes her, and he says, you have to be smart. You see, if you're working and if you make 3,000, and then if you are paying rent, you have to pay about 1,800, and then you're left with 1,200. But if you are in a shelter, you make 3,000, and you only buy your food, and that's it. And then she says, yeah, exactly. That's why these people are upset. That all of these people are upset that, about me. You guys don't like to live in a shelter? Okay, well, that's your problem. But if any of us are given a 5-year shelter stay, we'll take it. So the son says, people just talk because they're, please, like he's saying, if someone gives you $1,000 for free, anybody would take it. She says, if we would give 3,000 at the border to the migrants, everybody would take it. Then she says, listen, guys, I don't have any credit card. I was never given any money. Those of us that don't have children never get money. As far as I know, I didn't get any money, she says. That's a lie, she says. So she's claiming that she only received the free shelter, not the cash, per what she said. And then she continues, those of you that are suffering because I am living in a shelter. I had a meeting with Eric Adams, the mayor, and they gave me a shelter stay, a 5-year shelter stay. So why am I going to tell people, tell him, no, don't give me a shelter because my other followers, whatever, other people watching me will get upset. Go suck a you-know-what, all of you guys. How am I going to say no because of other people getting upset? Go suck a you-know-what. I do not have 2 years in this country. Not yet. Once I reach the 2 years, I will let you know. I'll let you know. Remember that according to what she said in the past, she's been here for over a year or about a year. I think it's over a year by now. Anyway, so she says, you guys, if you have problems, complain to the mayor, complain to the president, and that's it, because we're all in the system. If the government was upset about us being in a shelter, they can check us in the system and remove us from the shelter. And that's it. But it's not my fault. They're doing their work and they're giving it to us. The government is giving it to us. If the government is not bothered by me being in a shelter, why are you guys bothered? She's asking. You know what? If they kick us out, we'll go to New Jersey. We'll buy a shelter that can fit 8 people. I'll buy a little tiny kitchen. And I'll live in my tiny tent happily. The Venezuelans, all of us can live anywhere, she says. So her intentions are to remain in a shelter or tent, one way or the other, no matter what. She does not want to pay rent. She admitted it right there. She says, I will repeat it again. I support all of the people living in the shelters, in any country too. If the government is helping you, you take it. You take it. Then this other migrant that is on her live, her name is Crystal. She says, all of us came through the same process. I have 2 daughters, and all of us came through the jungle, through the same process. And a lot of us Venezuelans, talk bad about each other, and we shouldn't. And so that's what the devil's daughter continues and says, I support everyone that lives in the shelters. Everyone. Okay, so sure. You want us to reach out to officials? No problem. Ditto. I already did. So we'll see what happens. And I did want to add that I will not be able to give you any updates per the information I received. The case has been opened. Well, the case is, because it is for her and her husband. And so we'll just have to let it play out. It will take some time, obviously, because, it has to go through a certain process, and you can only imagine how that goes. But I did want to mention or ask you guys to please do not call immigration on these two individuals because it has already been done. And the reason I say that is because they said that if you do call again to give more information, they will add that information to the file. And so if it is the same information, then it will only delay the process because they have to, go get the file, add it on, and then someone has to review it again and so forth. So unless you have new information that you haven't seen on this channel or her pages, then that's different. But as of right now, it is not necessary because they are already working on it. She asked for it. She wanted us to talk to our government officials about it. Well, we will do that, especially now that President Trump is going to be the new president starting January 20th. You got it. Now in this clip, she shows us how hypocritical she is. Another one, right? Criticizing in the previous clip other migrants for wearing chains and trying to look like they have money. And there she is with a chain, and then here showing off her new smartwatch. Goes to show how fake a lot of these folks are. Then here is her new phone, apparently. She's showing it off. And, well, what happened with, not buying things here and not trying to show off? Well, another fake, ignorant person. Just for reference, these are her 3 children that are living in Venezuela, and that is the girlfriend of her oldest son. Now, I can only help but wonder if that's the house that she owns where all of those family members are currently living in. Okay, it is now time to discuss Jhonny Tovar, the alleged TDA gang member. And he's alleged because of the devil emojis that he's putting on his profile and some of his videos. That's him and her dancing in the taxpayer-funded hotel room. And here they are live streaming together. The devil's daughter, a friend, and Jhonny. These individuals do not want to work because if they did, they would be doing it already. They love to do these live streams and be on there for hours and hours. When they get negative comments, they just insult them and block them and just proceed to waste time on the taxpayer's dime without any shame. Meanwhile, a lot of Americans have to work hard to earn their keep, but our taxes are funding some of this nonsense. This video he posted says bathing the babies. So it is unclear if he owns one or all of them, but that's them guys, Now, he is apparently vaping, but the devil's daughter suffers from asthma, right? And then here she is vaping inside of the taxpayer-funded hotel room. A total waste of time, a total waste of taxpayer money, a complete mockery towards all of us. And the fact that this Biden and Harris administration gaslights us day in and day out. Then these folks lie to us, admit that they lied to us, and then brag about it on social media. So here Jhonny posted the following. There's a picture of a guy that seems injured. And he says that the devil's daughter almost killed him. LOL. And then the devil's daughter you can hear her saying that he's telling on me. He's telling on me to the cops. He's the one that was drunk. So per my understanding, either the devil's daughter or the devil's daughter's husband beat that guy up for unknown reasons. I'm not sure they were having some disagreement or something happened. And then they were being reported to to the police, to the NYPD. And so they're laughing and they're saying, we're here, we're facing them. She says, they're blaming the devil's daughter, he says. Because, okay, so the guy recording says, they are blaming the devil's daughter because her husband, and he shows Jhonny right there, looks like that's Jhonny, beat him up. And so I guess maybe that's the guy that was previously injured and he's telling the cops, or maybe someone that knows the guy. I'm unsure, guys. I'm just being honest, okay? There's very little information on this. I'm just sort of trying to make sense of these two video clips here. But apparently Jhonny beat up that guy because of the devil's daughter, or maybe the guy did something totally unconfirmed. I'm being honest, but it happened and they're not denying it. And the NYPD has been informed. Did something happen? It did not seem like anything really occurred because they keep on posting. Jhonny lives the good life. He does the typical TikTok videos and goes clubbing, drinking, dancing, singing, just chilling with all of his friends. Here on this live stream, someone mentions immigration in the comment section, and he says, tell immigration to blow me. MFer. Tell immigration to blow me, that I told them to. Okay? MFer. And you don't believe me? Let's play the audio in Spanish.
Official Washington Light Liga. Ash Washington, dile que me mame el huevo a migración. Gardito. Dile que a migración que me lo mamo. Te mandé decir yo. Estoy en Brooklyn. Gardito.
Don't worry, Jhonny. Your message will come through, I promise. Then there's this video on his page, and it shows someone holding a pink substance in front of a police officer, like making fun of this situation. Now, what's that pink substance? Apparently is related to this one.
Party drug from Latin America has made its way onto our shores. Tusi, better known as pink cocaine, is popping up in nightclubs from coast to coast.
Law enforcement officials say pink cocaine, which is also known as Tusi, is turning up in more drug seizures and in some cases is being trafficked by the notorious Venezuelan migrant gang Tren de Aragua. It's also marketed and trafficked in ways that make it a challenge for law enforcement since it's often sold in underground venues, says former NYPD Lieutenant Darren Porcher, who worked undercover narcotics.
A lot of that involves around informants that give police information, that avail them the ability to get into these environments, to make the observations and take effective police action against the perpetrators.
The bright-colored powder has been gaining in popularity among the nightlife set. Its swag factor went up when it was mentioned in a civil lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs as one of the disgraced mogul's alleged drugs of choice. It's often low in price, but high in risk, since users don't really know what they're ingesting, says Dr. Yalda Safai, a psychiatrist and public health expert.
Well, pink cocaine is a misnomer. The combination of the drugs are being used are not just cocaine, but rather a mix of MDMA, ketamine, even opioids such as fentanyl. So it's really a mix, and each one of them carries significant amount of its own risk.
So you guys tell me why this wonderful and respectful guy would post something like that on his page. I'm just asking, okay? You guys tell me why on earth would he do that? Then here is Jhonny showing his talent, and that is living the freeloader life and just jamming to music. I'll let you listen to a small part of this utter nightmare.
Las víctimas se encontraba, se murió por gafo y apuntando le disparó y hierba mala al piso cayó. Su pecado no confesó y su alma no se salvó.
Pure trash. And then here's a live stream where we have Yetsai and Jhonny and Jhonny's sister and another friend. So they are talking, or we're talking about how in New York they would get away with certain things. But then she says here in Virginia, this is the worst county or worst area ever. Jhonny says, if you guys were doing so beautifully here in New York City, why would you go over there? And she says, because we were going to North Carolina. We were going to Maryland. I don't even know why we ended up in Virginia. She says, I don't know. And then he laughs and he says, yeah, you went over there to go to jail. Laugh out loud. And she says, we went in there and we lost the 2 SUVs and the one that these guys had in Fernando too, the one that he had. And then he says, oh yeah, you guys got arrested with those SUVs? And she says, yep, that day, yep. And he says, wow, that's crazy. And she says, they caught us at a traffic stop. And Fernando, remember Fernando, her boyfriend, she says, Fernando was going to try to get away, flee the scene. But all of those cops got close to us with guns and they pointed them at us. It was 8 police cars because we were 8 people and they stopped us. And so he starts laughing and he's like, wow, that's crazy that you went to Virginia for that. And then she says, I tried to hide, but they took me out of the car and they asked me for papers. I said, I don't have anything, no license, nothing. I have nothing. I came here without any documentation. That's how I came in, she says. Then he says, but you guys were like already wanted or something, right? She says, yes. They gave me a document that says that I was wanted by ICE. But immigration came, but they let me go. I don't know. I think it's because it was my first time. And then Jhonny says, yeah, it's your first time being arrested. It's okay. They probably said it's her first time. Let her go. And then she says, yeah. Oh, they told me that it was my first time being detained and they let me go. And then he said, yeah, they probably let you go to see if you continue messing around. If you continue messing around, then they'll get you again. And then Yetsai says, you know that they always let us go, she says. And he says, it's true. A lot of us Venezuelans are lucky here, he says. Then Jhonny's sister says, be careful, don't be too cocky, okay? But then Jhonny says, believe me, Venezuelans here have tremendous opportunities. But sometimes we don't take advantage of them, he says. And then Yetsai says, I have a little daughter, you know, and my father was crying every day too. And then Jhonny says that I would call your father every day to tell them about your situation, that you were in prison, you know? So I believe that her daughter is in Venezuela. And I say that because I went to her page and I did not see any pictures of her with her daughter in America. So just for reference, it seems that her father is also with her daughter in Venezuela. Then Yetsai says, do you know the food they gave me in that prison? You would cry. And then Jhonny says, you were fat before. And then she says, look at me now. I lost so much weight. So she's saying that the food they gave her when she was arrested was so bad. That's the reason she lost a lot of weight. They all tell her that you look good because before, wow, you were overweight. And she says, don't call me that. And he says, but you know it's true. And then she says, well, yeah, it's true. I was not looking good before. Then he says, well, you're looking good now. So if Fernando remains in prison, then maybe you'll find a gringo. And then they start laughing. So he says, don't worry, they'll let him out one of these days. They'll let him out one of these days, guys. And these, I think, are some of the SUVs she was talking about, because those are the ones that she posted on her Take Trash page. They look pretty decent, if you ask me, but who knows how the heck they were able to afford them. But that has to be them. Because look at this guy. That one was also arrested with them. So what can I tell you? Truly embarrassing that this trash was let into the country to commit crimes. Now that you have this information, feel free to reach out to the Leesburg Police Department to let them know that they should watch this video where it confirms these 8 individuals are Venezuelan migrants per Yetsai herself, so that they can correct this statement and release a proper one to the media. Because then they'll tell us, oh, we're not seeing a high number of migrant crimes being committed. Well, how are you going to see it if you are labeling them as Americans? Guys, they said these 8 individuals were New Yorkers. So please do that. We have to hold these officials accountable so that they can share the proper information with the public and the media. All of us need to be aware of what's truly going on. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to smash the like button, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. The shoutouts for my amazing supporters are down below. But guys, be very careful in the comment section, okay? Because the migrants are reading the comments. And so remember, we cannot expose them going on social media to teach others how to cross the border and take advantage of the system. No, they are allowed to do that, and none of us can give our opinions about it because we don't have freedom of speech. So be careful. Do not offend them. Otherwise, they'll get really angry and then they'll make threats against us, and then we're going to be very scared. So please be careful. Have a good night, guys. Be careful.